We're always hearing about the latest incredible medical breakthroughs. But what if I told you that one of the biggest revolutions in medicine isn't happening in a lab, but on the factory floor? We're talking about the rise of the smart factory, and it's happening right now. So, why the big rush to change everything? Well, it all starts with this number. In a typical pharmaceutical factory, this is what it can cost for every single minute that production is unexpectedly stopped. The stakes are just unbelievably high. So, what's the problem we're trying to solve here? The truth is, a lot of the world's medicine is being made in plants that are frankly running on old technology. They're based on models from a totally different era, and they're struggling to keep up with the complexity of modern science. It makes everything slow, risky, and way more expensive than it needs to be.
And here you can really see the difference. Think about the old way, batch processing. It's like baking a cake where you add the flour, then stop, check everything, then add the eggs, stop, check again. It's slow, it's clunky. The new way, continuous manufacturing, is completely different. It's like a seamless river, a constant flow, where quality is checked every single second, in real time. It's just faster, smarter, and way more reliable.
So, how do we fix this old, creaky system? Well, the answer isn't just buying one new machine or some fancy software. Nope, it's a whole new philosophy for how factories should work. It's called Pharma 4.0, and it's a complete rethink of everything. And let's be clear, Pharma 4.0 isn't just about sprinkling a few robots on the factory floor. It's about weaving everything together. All the digital tools, the automation, the constant stream of data, to create a factory that's genuinely intelligent. A factory that can learn and even optimize itself. And you might be thinking, okay, is this just some corporate buzzword? Absolutely not. In fact, the big players, the top regulators like the FDA here in the US, are pushing for this. They see the huge benefits, getting crucial medicines to people faster, building smaller, more efficient facilities, and getting way better information from all that data. All right, so what does this actually look like? What's in the Pharma 4.0 toolkit? Let's pop the hood and take a look. We can really break it down into three main interconnected areas. First up, you've got what I call the digital brain. Now, this is cool. Imagine creating a perfect, living, breathing, virtual copy of your entire factory in a computer. That's a digital twin. You can test things, run scenarios, and fix problems before they ever happen in the real world. This brain is constantly fed info from thousands of tiny IoT sensors, all managed by one central system, creating a single, reliable source of truth. And does this digital brain actually work? Oh yeah, the results are pretty incredible. Just by implementing a fully realized digital twin, biopharma companies can cut that costly, unplanned downtime by almost half, a 47% reduction. That is a massive impact. Okay, so you've got the brain. Now you need the muscle. That's where the automated workflow comes in. We're talking about that seamless, continuous production running 24/7 with robots handling the repetitive, precise tasks with a level of accuracy that, let's be honest, no human can match over and over again. And the difference this makes in terms of pure speed, it's just staggering. By bringing in this kind of automation, factories can boost how much they produce, their total throughput, by a whopping 60%. More medicine faster with fewer mistakes. All right, last but definitely not least in our toolkit is something I like to call the predictive shield. This is where things get really futuristic. Instead of waiting for a machine to break, AI analyzes all the data and predicts a failure before it happens. And quality control isn't something you do at the end anymore. It's happening constantly, every second, as part of the process itself. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. 95%. Using predictive maintenance can cut down on those unexpected equipment failures by up to 95%. It basically eliminates the biggest reason for that expensive downtime we talked about at the start. It is a total game changer. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but how does a company actually get from here to there? It's not a flip of a switch, of course. It's a journey, a roadmap that usually takes about 2 years. You start by building the digital foundation. Then you implement the core monitoring systems. And finally, you layer on those really advanced tools like AI and predictive analytics. But here's the thing, and we've seen this time and time again with any big tech shift, the shiniest new toys are only half the story. The other half, the harder half a lot of the time, is all about people. When you actually ask the people on the ground what the biggest hurdles are, it's not the technology. It's the human stuff. It's departments not sharing data. It's making sure employees have the new skills they need. It's overcoming a company culture that just doesn't like change. And of course, it's managing all the new cybersecurity risks that come with a fully connected factory. So at the end of the day, success isn't something you can just buy off a shelf. It has to be built from the ground up. It means a huge cultural shift, investing in your people, getting teams to work together in new ways, and making sure every single decision from the factory floor to the CEO's office is driven by data. Which, of course, brings us to the billion-dollar question. Literally. With all this cost, all this effort, all this change, is it actually worth it? Well, let's talk about the payoff because honestly, the numbers are mind-blowing. First things first, let's be real about the cost. A full transformation like this is a serious investment, running close to $100 million over a few years. But look closely at that breakdown. A huge chunk of that isn't for machines. It's for people, training, and new roles. That really shows you where the priority is. But now for the good part. Let's look at the return. The first massive win, a potential 30% reduction in the overall cost of goods on a product that makes billions that adds up to hundreds of millions of dollars saved. And it's not just about saving money, it's about being fast. These smart factories can react to sudden changes in the market, like a pandemic or a new health crisis, up to 50% faster than old factories. That kind of agility is priceless. And remember where we started? That insane cost of downtime? Well, this brings us full circle. By seeing problems before they happen and checking quality in real time, these factories can cut failures by an incredible 95%. That means a safer, more dependable supply of the medicines we all rely on. But the real goal here is even bigger than just being faster or cheaper. This is about building the factories we're going to need for the future of medicine. Factories that are so agile they can create tiny batches of personalized therapies, made specifically for one person's genetic code. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. This is so much more than an industrial upgrade. It's a launch pad for a whole new era of medicine. Just think about it. When our factories can predict the future and adapt in a heartbeat, what incredible new cures will we be able to create?